So you've had a real illustrious career in athletics. What would you say were some of the proudest moments of your career?
I think the proudest moment was being, first of all, to be picked to go to my first Olympic Games in Tokyo in 1964. And then, of course, unexpectedly and a great surprise to everybody, including myself, I managed to win the gold medal in my first Olympic Games, beating the two world record holders, Ralph Boston and Igor Teravanesyan from Russia. And to do that was a huge thing. And you know, everyone in Wales, at home, I've got about 200 telegrams from all over Wales, from teachers, from local authorities, from everybody. That was obviously my proudest moment as a competitor. But then I went on to become team manager at the Olympic Games in Moscow in 1980 and Los Angeles in 1984. So then I became team manager of the likes of Seb Coe, Steve Ovett, Daley Thompson, Alan Wells, and they were proud moments as well, because I felt that having experience competing myself, I was now having an opportunity to pass on my experience and motivate the other young people to do that. So that was proud as well.
I think just going back to 1964, how did you feel then with winning that? Must have been an amazing feeling.
Well, it was, because I was ranked in the top 10 in the world. I had jumped just over 8 meters. But the lucky thing on the day in Tokyo was that there was rain and wind. And that helped me to some extent. They're not good conditions to jump in, rain and wind, because ideally today we're sitting here in a lovely playing field in Marshfield, and it's a warm sunny day, and this would be ideal for long jumping and sprinting. But on that day there was wind gusting and everything else, and we were all struggling. And the winning distance I achieved in the 5th round of the long jump. I went into the lead with 8 meters and 7 centimeters, and that managed to hold on to the winning title. So to stand on that rostrum and look at my name above the American and the Russian was a very, very proud moment. But as I say, in the Olympic Games, you've got to have a bit of luck on the day, because once every 4 years you are tested to your ultimate, all your training and competition and everything else, and you've got to have that little bit of luck, which I did on that day, because in the 5th round, whereas the wind had been gusting at about 5 miles an hour into our face, when I looked up at the top of the stadium, the flag just dropped. And I realised that the wind had dropped. So I charged down the runway and I went into the lead with 26 feet 5 3/4, and that held up, and I was Olympic champion. So a great moment.
It must have been a real surreal feeling standing on the podium receiving the gold medal.
Well, it was, because you dream about possibly doing this, but the thing is, as you know, Will, in athletics it's measurable. So you have to be realistic. So I was competing against an American and a Russian who were the world record holders, and they had jumped in excess of 20 centimeters further than me. So my aim in going into Tokyo was to maybe to make the final, first of all. That's always great to get Olympic final, and maybe to get the bronze medal, 3rd place, but not to win it. But as I say, on the day itself, a little bit of luck intervened, and I did. But to stand on the rostrum with, on my right, Ralph Boston, the world record holder from America, and on the left, Igor Teravanesyan, the Russian, and these were my heroes, really. I'd looked up to these as the great long jumpers, and to have them standing alongside me and I'd beaten them was a great feeling.